Go to the next threat I have in this division. The second largest is the Chargers. I know some of you had the Chargers as number 1. I have them as number 2, and I'm going to explain why. Now, they did add J.C. Jackson, some big names, Khalil Mack, basically to replace Nwosu. But remember, I talked about this last time. Mack, I don't think he's going to be there after this year. They can get completely out of his contract without a cap hit, and he'll be due $23 million in 2023. I don't think that's going to happen. So this is basically a one-year rental. Mack's good. I don't think he's been as good as he was with us, and kind of the carryover that first year with the Bears, he wanted to kind of prove himself. Still good, but not, to me, not all world. Still going to be a threat though. I still think the Chiefs are going to be a little bit more of a threat on the pass rushing side. As far as their draft goes, these are the guys who are signed. Their top 3 picks have not yet been signed, and I see only one of them actually being a full-time starter, and that's Zion Johnson. They got him penciled in at the right guard position out of Boston College. Salary cap, they still have some room to play with, and we'll talk a little bit about a free agent that they signed when we talk about the next team. So let's talk about the defensive keys here. As far as the defensive keys, before the draft, I had Chandler Jones trying to teach Rashawn Slater, who's no slouch, solid guy, but he's young. Teach him a thing or two. He's got to win that battle to get to Herbert in the passing game. And then we got to stop Austin Eckler. Like I said before, this guy, last 2 games we played last season, he had over 300 all-purpose yards, rushing and receiving. Unbelievable. He can slash us really bad. So let's take a look at where they stand post-draft. I got Zion Johnson here. I also added Isaiah Spiller. I don't think he's going to start, but he's still going to be a threat. So my first key is going to stay the same. Getting that pass rush going, especially with Chandler Jones on Herbert's blind side. But the second one, I put it over here, not only Austin Eckler, but Isaiah Spiller. No disrespect to Justin Jackson or Kelly. I think Spiller's a much improved upgrade for this running game. That gives them the between the tackles thumper that they needed. That's probably why we moved up ahead of them to go get Zamir White, because they probably were going to draft him. But it's going to be formidable now, and it's going to be tough. We're really going to have to focus on this, because if they can get the running game going just like the passing game, it's going to be very tough for us to stop this offense. Now, as far as our offense goes, I had Leatherwood and Bosa. He's got to win that battle. I still think Leatherwood's going to win out at right tackle. He's going to have every opportunity to win that spot. But, you know, even if he isn't, that's going to be the biggest threat here. Not Mack, in my opinion. I think Colton Miller's going to be able to handle him on that side. Then Josh Jacobs' running game. I talked about this before. I am not threatened by the inside of this Chargers defense. They didn't really do much. I think it's a slight upgrade. I talked about that as far as these free agents go that they pulled. Jerry Tillery, they declined the 5th-year option. Remember, he's a first-round pick. Supposed to be their nose guard. Couldn't hack it. Moved him out to 3-4 end. Still not that good. Murray, kind of iffy. And then they got Drew Tranquil here for White. I still think we can gash them there as far as the pre-draft goes. Now, post-draft, I'm going to say Leatherwood and actually Zamir White. And that's why I put White there. I know he's probably not going to start, at least in the first week against the Chargers. He might very well in the second one, given Jacobs' health concerns. I still think that is the key to knocking this team down, running the ball down their throat. The middle of this defense is very weak on this team.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.